Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to dive into a practical walkthrough on integrating Cisco ACI with Microsoft Entra ID using OAuth2. OAuth2 is a powerful protocol that helps secure access to applications, and when combined with Entra ID, it allows us to leverage Microsoft's authentication for Cisco ACI. But instead of getting bogged down in theory, my goal here is to show you how the process works step by step. Imagine you are a user trying to log in into Cisco ACI through your browser. Behind the scenes, a lot happened to make sure only the right people get access. And that's where OAuth2 comes into play. In this video, I will guide you through the entire flow. So let's get started. So let's go to the steps. Step 1 is user opens web browser. So let me open my web browser. Step 2, navigate to Cisco APIC. So I put my APIC IP address. And here's my APIC IP address. So in this step, now we will redirect it to Microsoft Entra ID for authentication. So here you can have your user password and MFA. Once the user credentials are verified, Entra ID issues a set of tokens, including an access token, an ID token, containing information about the user identity and permission. These tokens represent the user's authenticated session. Entra ID then redirects the tokens back to Cisco ACI through the user's browser. These tokens act as proof that user has authenticated. APIC receives and validates the token from Entra ID. It checks the token signature and verifies its claims, such as user identity, roles, and group membership, to ensure that the user has the correct permission. This is the authorization part. So once the token is validated, Cisco ACI grants the user secure access to its resource. Okay, let's see this in action. I'm choosing the OAuth2 domain. Now I will be redirected to Microsoft. So here's my username, Cisco ACI networking with and the password. Oh, there is a mistake in the password. So re-enter the password. Okay, now here's the MFA part. So I put 37 on my app. Okay, now yes. And now I'm redirected to Cisco APIC again, but now the user is authenticated. So as you can see, Cisco networking with Hasan is now authenticated, and I can verify that on their remote users. So this is my authorization permission, and this is my user account. Now it's time for us to move into the practical side of things. First thing first, let's log into our Entra ID portal. This is my admin account. Okay. This is our Entra admin center. First thing is we have to create the application. I can search for enterprise application here. Enterprise applications and new application. There are some predefined applications, but we are using our own. So we are not using this stuff. So create your own application and put a name here. I put Cisco APIC OAuth, and this is non-gallery. So I choose integrate any other application you don't find in gallery and create. So we have to wait for 1 minute or so. Okay, now the application is created. Let's go to application registration. Choose all applications here and select your new app. So here are the mandatory parts. First, client credentials. We have to set up a client secret. Here you provide a description, Cisco APIC OAuth, and expires by default is 6 months. So you will create a secret key. We copy the value and paste it in a text file just for future use. So I keep it here because next time you come to this page, you won't see this value again. So now the next step is going to API permissions. So go to API permissions, and I need to provide some permissions here. We have to choose Microsoft Graph and delegated permissions. First, OpenID. Second, profile. These are two mandatory stuff. We can provide groups read all and group member read all. Also, we need to provide user read. Should be at the bottom of this page. Yes, user, and choose user read here and user read all. That's for full profile, access to full profile. And then you have to provide the grant admin consent here. So it's granted. Let's go to token configuration. This is the most important part. Here is all about the ID token. Okay, so we add groups claim. For this in a Microsoft, we have, if you want to send groups, the groups must be application group, which means that your group should belongs to applications. I will do it in a next step. So our choice is group ID. If you have like connect Active Directory to your Azure directory, then you have to you can use other options like SAM account and NetBIOS, but here for us group ID is enough. So do you see on the token side we have ID, access, and SAML, and we choose already application groups. So let's go back to enterprise group application, choose the application. This is how we define application group. We bind our groups to this application. So I have predefined site admin and help desk group. So I'm trying to assign site admin first. I'm assigning site admin group into this application, which turns site admin group into application group. Okay, this is how it works. Now the other group that I'm using is help desk. So not here. Find the help desk, select and assign. So now these two groups are considered as application groups because we assign them to our application. Okay, so let's go back to our application. Okay. Now select the manifest. Make sure that group membership claims is application group, and then if you come down, find ID token. We want to make sure the group membership is passing through our ID token. That's why in additional properties, you have to mention this value. You have to put here cloud display name. This is mandatory if you want to claim group membership in your ID token. So let's save it. Okay. Now let's talk about the users and groups. Let me go to users first. These are my groups. Help desk doesn't have any member. Let's go to group and create new username. Support. Choose the principal name. Doesn't display name. Support. And put a password. Review plus create. So, okay. Refresh. Now I can see support username. And okay, I'm gonna add it to help desk group. So add membership, choose help desk and select, because my group has a license. So every single user that become part of that group will inherit the license. So let's do also per MFA user, support and enable MFA. You have to follow that link to enable the MFA for the user. So let's go back to my Cisco user account. And I want to add membership to my site admin. Okay. So far we have configured enterprise admin, API permissions, token, claim. Still we have something to do here, but so far we are good. Let me go to all users and double check MFA configuration on everyone. And then we are ready to go to Cisco ACI and do the configuration on other end, but we have to come back here. There is one more step here left. So all users are enforced by MFA and we're good to go to Cisco APIC. Log into our admin account with local domain, choose admin, and AAA menu, authentication, provider. Here is I'm going to create our OAuth provider, login.microsoftonline.com. This is Microsoft OAuth provider link. If you have Okta, definitely you have to find out your host name from Okta. So OAuth with Microsoft Entra ID, change the rel to OAuth2. Okay, now we need client ID information. We have to go back to our Entra ID portal. We can find it from enterprise application here. And we can also go to application registrations, select your application. And here are essential information. Okay, I'm copying my application ID. So go back to APIC. Now paste the client ID here. About the client secret, we already know. So copy and paste. Okay, confirm, paste. Leave the username claim as sub, but it's not correct. We will come back and fix this one. So scope should be OpenID profile. Just let me talk about OpenID scope. The OpenID scope is essential because it triggers the issuance of an ID token from the authorization server. In this case, Microsoft Entra ID, without this scope, our request would only return an access token, which grants access to resource but doesn't contain user identity information. By specifying OpenID, we are telling Microsoft Entra ID to include an ID token in the response, which contains valuable identity data that Cisco APIC can use for access control. And profile scope complements OpenID by adding additional user information to ID token, such as username, preferred username, and other general profile detail. This is particularly useful for user management in Cisco APIC because it provides the basic user identity details that APIC can use to personalize for the authorization. Okay, so keep OIDC disabled, and in authorization endpoint, you can come here, go to the endpoint tabs, you will find all the links here. Choose here, OAuth2 authorization endpoint. Copy the link, go back to APIC, paste it here, and same thing for token endpoint. Go back to endpoint, copy the link, and paste it here. So for certificate authority, I have to say it's very important step. The CA certificate lets APIC verify and trust token issued by Microsoft Azure, ensuring secure communication. Without it, APIC wouldn't accept Azure's token, making the integration impossible. To get it, it's very easy. You just come here, click on information, and choose view certificate. Scroll down, scroll a little bit more. Okay, you have to find the chain. Okay, here's the chain. You can download the PEM cert file and then you will upload it here. Super easy. Just copy and paste all the certificates. So, and then save it. Okay, now we are done with the providers menu. Let's go back to login domains. Here I need to create a new domain, a login domain. I just put a name, OAuth underscore Microsoft. Description, OAuth2 with Microsoft Entra ID, and realm is OAuth2. Okay, here is authorization part. Are we accepting AV pair or are we accepting group map? So from APIC version 6, we can have the group map. So the group attribute called groups, and here we can create a map. So I'm creating a map rule called full access. So this is a mapping between group coming from the Entra ID, and I'm mapping to the roles. So I put the group name on my Entra ID is site admin on the Microsoft side, and I'm providing security, all security domains, the role admin with the right privilege. Accept add. So right now, any user belongs to site admin, they have full access. And this one is limited access. User group on Entra ID is help desk. And I'm mapping all security group. And the role, I choose read all. Read all with only read privilege. And add. It's super easy, right? Super easy. So you don't want to go for Cisco AV pair anymore. It's just a simpler method. So finally we add the provider and save. Now we go back to Azure for some undone steps. To accomplish a whole integration, we need to go app registration and choose authentication. Then we have to choose the platform web, and then we need redirect URI. So what does it mean, redirect URI, and what's the purpose? In Microsoft, we need to set a redirect URI, which tells Entra ID where to send the token after user is authenticated. For now, I'm using Postman as the redirect URI because I have something to show. Postman is a great tool for testing because it lets us see the raw token response directly, make it easy to troubleshoot and validate the setup before moving to production. That's why for now, I just add a link redirects to my Postman. Okay, to get the authorization code in Postman, we need to generate a special link. This link includes key parameters like client ID, redirect URI, and response type. When we open this link in a browser, Microsoft Entra ID will prompt us to sign in and then redirect us to Postman with the authorization code, which we will use to request the access token. As you can see, we have the tenant ID, client ID, Postman redirect, scope, and the last one, state, is a random number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. So we need to copy this link, okay, and then paste it in your browser. Okay, paste it here. After authentication, you will get this link. My pop-up is blocked, that's why it's not open in Postman. I just want to also show it here. So here is the reply. From here starts the code up to here. Okay, this is the code. Copy this, and then now we will go to Postman. I just paste it here for future reference. So let's go to the Postman, change the type to post, and for the link, we need to go to the endpoint and choose the token endpoint. Just copy this link from your application registration, paste it here. Okay, so go to the body, choose XWWW form URI encoded, and start putting this information. Key is grant type, and the value is authorization code. Okay, the next key here is client ID. So you just go to the application registration and copy your client ID, paste it here. The reason for this practice, I want to show you what is inside the OAuth2 token, so you can have better vision and understanding about it. So scope is OpenID profile, redirect URI is my Postman link. Just need to paste it here. Let me copy it from here. https postman.io version 1 callback. Okay, copy, go back, paste, and here's the last key element, the code that we already got from the browser link. Yes, here, this is the code. So copy, go back to the Postman, paste it here. Okay, let's send the request. Okay, the token type, we have the access token, and this is the access token part. And if you go scroll down, let me scroll down. Here is the ID token. All the, yeah, we already spoke about that. You already know it. So let's copy this encoded. This is not encrypted. This is only encoded. So copy this. And one of the best tools that I always use is this website, jwt.io. So you just paste a token here, like paste your token, and it will do the decode for you. And here we are, the group, because I signed with Cisco account, Cisco ACI networking with Assan. So you can see my group, site admin is here, and here are my this is my preferred username. See, now let me go back to APIC and fix some stuff here. So go with admin account, go to admin menu, Okay, AAA, go to provider, choose OAuth2, edit. So change the username here into, because it's not sub or username, it's from the Microsoft, according what we are seeing. Look at the sub, it's a strange number, right? So we have the preferred username. So put it here as a username. This is kind of attribute mapping, right? So, and according to this token that we already get through Postman, I can see that I am sending my group to APIC. So APIC already has a map that we created in our previous step. So then it should be very okay and good. So just let me change the redirect URI into APIC. So we need to delete this Postman test and then paste the Cisco ACI as your ACI IP and API AAA login SSO JSON, and then you have to copy your login domain to here. So that's your full URI for redirection. Now let's do the test. This is the final part. It should be very interesting. So choose your domain to OAuth. So as soon as you do that, you will be redirected to Microsoft Online website. So I use my Cisco account, Cisco username, and yes, we are coming back. The reason that you didn't see the authentication procedure because it was already authenticated. So the user is now Cisco ACI networking with SN, and I can prove that by going to admin, users, remote, and check this account. It's coming from my OAuth Microsoft login domain, and this is my AV pair and the privilege. As you know, it means all security domains with admin right privilege, right? So let me do another thing. The last test, log out, and this time let me log in with the limited account. So this time I want to use support account, which belongs to help desk group. So I'm doing the sign-in procedure, and now I'm coming here with the support networking with SN. So see, the menu are very limited in this case. So right now, if I go to tenant, I cannot even create a tenant because my access is read-only. So I can go to admin AAA, but I cannot see anything because I don't have the privilege. Let me log in with my admin local account. Go to login, AAA users, remote, and this is support account. So you can see we have limited access with read-only privilege. And that's it. Okay, we have successfully integrated Cisco ACI with Microsoft Entra AD using OAuth2. We went through each configuration step and tested the setup in Postman and confirmed secure access with tokens. Thank you for following along. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into network solutions. See you next time.